Imagine a life where what you truly desire comes to you, not because you force it, not because you struggle endlessly, but because your mind, your actions, and your presence are aligned with the flow of life itself. Imagine learning to attract opportunities, relationships, and success naturally by cultivating calm, focus, and clarity in everything you do. Today, we will explore 10 Stoic rules that guide you to live in this way. These are principles that have helped people for centuries to create the conditions where life begins to work with them rather than against them. Take a moment now to breathe and settle into this idea. Before we begin, I invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss the insights that can quietly, steadily change your life. If this message feels meaningful, like this video as a sign that you are ready to open yourself to possibility. You have worked hard, perhaps too hard. You have chased your goals with everything you have. You have pushed through obstacles, stayed up late, and given your energy, time, and attention to things that you believed would bring you success. And yet, despite all this effort, what you truly want still feels just beyond your reach. You know the feeling. That quiet frustration, the sense that no matter how much you do, it is never quite enough. Society tells you to fight harder, to hustle more, to stress endlessly, as if the answer to your challenges is more pressure, more force, more pushing against life itself. The Stoics saw something very different. They understood that life does not respond to force. It does not bend simply because you pull at it. True influence, true manifestation of what you desire begins with your mind. When your thoughts, your energy, and your actions are aligned, the world begins to respond to you in ways that feel natural. This is not about passivity or giving up. It is about understanding the principles that create a magnetic presence, a clarity of purpose, and a harmony with the flow of life. When you learn these rules, you stop exhausting yourself against resistance and start moving through life with a steady, calm strength. You begin to notice opportunities that were always there, but invisible in your stress and struggle. You start to attract the right circumstances, people, and experiences, not because you force them, but because you have learned the art of alignment. This is the truth the Stoics lived by, and it is the same truth that can quietly change your life today. In the next hour, we will explore 10 Stoic rules designed to help you make what you want come to you. These rules are not just ideas to think about, they are practical ways of living that have guided some of the most disciplined, wise, and fulfilled people in history. The Stoics understood that true power does not come from forcing life to obey your will. It comes from mastering yourself, your thoughts, your attention, and your actions so that your presence, energy, and mindset naturally draw the right experiences toward you. These 10 rules combine timeless Stoic philosophy with insights that modern psychology confirms. They show how your daily choices, your focus, and the way you respond to challenges shape the reality you experience. Each rule offers a way to create alignment within yourself, to act with clarity, and to release the tension that pushes opportunities away. When you begin to practice these principles, you will notice that life starts to respond differently. You begin to see doors open that were always there, and you start attracting people, circumstances, and experiences that serve your growth and goals. If you are ready to commit to learning these rules, I encourage you to comment below with the words, "I'm ready." By doing this, you are not just engaging with the video, you are signaling to your mind that you are committed to change. You are also helping this message reach others who may need this guidance. Every comment, every interaction is a small ripple that spreads this wisdom further. Take a deep breath and notice the curiosity stirring in your mind. That curiosity is the first sign that your attention is opening to something new. It is the beginning of awareness, and awareness is where change begins. This moment, right now, is your starting point. As you continue, allow yourself to observe how your thoughts, energy, and focus respond to the ideas you are about to hear. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who might benefit from these principles. Subscribe to this channel to receive weekly insights that help you master life without unnecessary stress, without frantic effort, and without losing touch with what truly matters. These simple actions are not distractions. They are part of creating a habit of engagement, attention, and reflection. They signal to your mind that you are ready to learn, ready to grow, and ready to align with the principles that have guided the wisest thinkers for centuries. Now, settle in, maintain your focus, and prepare to explore the first of 10 rules that will guide you to make what you want come to you naturally, steadily, and with clarity. Rule 1. Detach desire. Desire is a paradox. The more we reach for something, the more it often seems to slip away. We think that wanting it harder, thinking about it constantly, or forcing ourselves into action will make it ours, yet the opposite frequently occurs. The more we cling to an outcome, the tighter our grip, the more tension we create, and the more the thing we seek seems to recede. Detached desire teaches us to approach our goals and wishes differently. It is the art of wanting without clinging, of pursuing without desperation. It is the understanding that our fulfillment does not depend entirely on whether the desired outcome arrives in the exact form or time we imagine. Detached desire is about cultivating a calm presence, a clear mind, and an energy that invites rather than repels. It is learning to act with intention while allowing the natural course of events to unfold without unnecessary struggle. This principle is central to Stoic thought and to the ways of the mind that create consistent, sustainable progress in life. When you practice detached desire, you are not abandoning ambition. You are not giving up on dreams or settling for less. Instead, you are shifting your energy from tension to alignment, from anxiety to clarity, from compulsion to calm determination. You begin to see that desire, when held lightly, does not disappear. It becomes more precise, more focused, and more capable of guiding you toward opportunities that previously went unnoticed. Detached desire creates a space in which your intentions and actions can flow naturally, free of the resistance created by fear, urgency, or neediness. It allows you to observe your goals without being trapped by them, to move toward them without being consumed by them. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus, a man who had been born into slavery and later became one of the most influential philosophers of his time, taught that true wealth consists not in the accumulation of possessions, but in freedom from need. He observed that dependence on external outcomes, whether in wealth, status, or recognition, creates tension, vulnerability, and suffering. The desire that clings too tightly to outcomes becomes a source of anxiety, distraction, and unhappiness. Epictetus encouraged a form of desire that is free from attachment. He recognized that when a person can want something while remaining emotionally balanced, regardless of whether it arrives exactly as imagined, they experience power rather than frustration. Their mind is clear, their energy is steady, their actions are deliberate rather than reactive. This is the essence of detached desire. It is a philosophy that emphasizes internal stability and resilience, and it transforms the way one interacts with the world. When you cultivate detached desire, something remarkable happens. Your mind and energy begin to open rather than constrict. Opportunities that were once invisible now come into view. People who might have seemed inaccessible or situations that appeared closed now present possibilities. Detached desire allows you to see clearly, to act calmly, and to recognize options that a mind consumed by fear and need would overlook. This is because attachment creates blind spots. When your mind is tightly bound to a particular outcome, it filters information in a way that supports your anxiety and excludes other possibilities. You may miss valuable connections, insights, or solutions because you are so focused on the thing you think you need. Detached desire, on the other hand, loosens the grip, expands your awareness, and allows for flexibility. It does not remove intention. It does not remove ambition. It simply removes the tension that blocks perception and interferes with thoughtful, deliberate action. Detached desire also transforms how you approach effort. Instead of acting from desperation, you act from clarity. You no longer push blindly against life. You move with awareness, adjusting to circumstances as they unfold. Your efforts become more efficient, more precise, and more likely to produce results because they are guided by presence rather than anxiety. You start to notice patterns, relationships, and opportunities that were previously obscured by the cloud of clinging. Modern psychology confirms the effectiveness of detached desire. Research on intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation shows that when people are motivated by internal purpose rather than external pressure, their performance, creativity, and problem-solving abilities improve. Calm, focused intention enhances cognitive function, allowing for better decision-making and more thoughtful planning. When the mind is not overwhelmed by stress or desperation, it can identify possibilities, weigh options, and respond flexibly to challenges. Detachment in desire also aligns with psychological principles of flow. Flow is a state in which people perform at their highest potential, fully absorbed in the present moment. Flow emerges when there is clarity of intention and freedom from distraction, when effort is applied with focus rather than force. Detached desire naturally creates these conditions. By releasing the need to control every outcome, the mind can act with creativity, clarity, and responsiveness. The energy that previously fueled stress and anxiety is redirected into observation, problem-solving, and thoughtful action. This allows individuals to approach challenges with confidence and composure rather than tension and worry. Consider situations such as job interviews, business pitches, or creative projects. The person who acts from detached desire, who presents ideas with calm confidence and steady attention, attracts opportunities far more consistently than the person who chases outcomes frantically. In a job interview, the individual who is desperate for the position may speak quickly, over-explain, or appear tense. Their energy communicates need rather than competence. By contrast, a candidate who desires the role without clinging demonstrates presence, preparation, and clarity. Their calm confidence signals capability and invites others to respond positively. In creative work, the same principle applies. An artist, writer, or entrepreneur who obsesses over immediate success may produce work under pressure, reacting to imagined judgments rather than pursuing vision with calm intention. This often leads to mistakes, missed insights, and unnecessary stress. A professional who holds the desire lightly, who remains open to feedback and opportunity, creates conditions where creativity, intuition, and quality output emerge naturally. Detached desire does not mean passivity. It means moving with awareness, taking deliberate action, and trusting that effort applied with presence is far more effective than frantic striving. Take a moment to pause and notice the shift in your mind. Pay attention to the sense of calm that begins to settle as you allow desire to exist without grasping. Observe the clarity that arises when tension is released. This is the first step toward alignment, the beginning of the process by which life begins to respond naturally to your intention and energy. Let this principle sink in. Breathe deeply. Feel the potential opening around you. That calm focus you experience now is the foundation for the next rules, and it is the energy that will guide you through all 10 principles. Now let us move deeper into the journey of learning how to make what you want come to you with presence, clarity, and natural alignment. Rule 2. Present moment magnetism. Your power exists here, right now. Everything you want, every opportunity you hope to attract is drawn to the energy you bring into the present moment. Yet most people live elsewhere. They live in the past, replaying mistakes, regrets, or what they could have done differently. Others live in the future, consumed by worries about what might happen, what they need to achieve, or how outcomes will unfold. When your mind drifts into these other times, you miss the richness of the present. You miss the subtle signals, the quiet opportunities, and the natural connections that arise only when you are fully aware. Being present is not a simple task. It requires practice, patience, and awareness. It requires noticing when your attention wanders and gently bringing it back to the current moment. The truth is, the present is where your influence exists. It is where decisions are made, actions are taken, and energy is projected into the world. If your mind is elsewhere, you act half-heartedly, respond with distraction, and fail to see the openings life provides. But when your mind rests fully in the present, you become magnetic. Opportunities, insights, and the right people begin to align with you naturally. Your actions are clear. Your responses are precise. Your presence draws what you want without effort because it communicates stability, attentiveness, and calm competence. The Stoics recognized this principle centuries ago. Seneca, one of the most thoughtful philosophers of his time, observed, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Seneca was not speaking of passivity or resignation. He was speaking of the clarity that emerges when your mind is fully engaged in the moment. He understood that anxiety about what is yet to come clouds judgment, blocks perception, and interferes with meaningful action. When we allow our minds to dwell excessively on the future, we lose touch with what is directly in front of us. Opportunities that are visible, relationships that are accessible, and insights that could guide us slip by unnoticed. Presence, according to Seneca, is the foundation of both happiness and effective action. By mastering the ability to stay present, you create the conditions under which life begins to respond to your focus and intention. Present moment magnetism works because the mind can only influence reality through awareness. When your attention is scattered, energy leaks and action becomes inefficient. You may pursue goals, work hard, or act decisively in theory, but the absence of presence dilutes your efforts. By contrast, a person who is fully present observes the nuances of every situation. They notice subtleties others miss. They hear unspoken needs, sense unexpressed opportunities, and recognize patterns that would otherwise be invisible. This awareness is magnetic. It signals to the world that you are engaged, capable, and attentive. The right situations, people, and possibilities naturally gravitate toward you. Being present also allows for clarity in decision-making. When the mind is not clouded by past regrets or future anxieties, choices become simpler and more accurate. Actions align with goals because they are informed by what is real rather than what is imagined. You notice connections, opportunities, and timing that others miss. You respond rather than react. You move intentionally rather than impulsively. Presence sharpens perception, strengthens judgment, and amplifies influence. Modern psychology confirms the importance of presence. Research on mindfulness and awareness demonstrates that being fully engaged in the moment reduces stress and anxiety. The act of focusing on the here and now allows the prefrontal cortex to operate more effectively, improving reasoning, problem-solving, and decision-making. Mindfulness increases intuition and creativity because the mind is free to notice connections that a distracted mind would overlook. Studies also show that individuals who practice presence experience more meaningful interactions and stronger social bonds. Their attention conveys respect and attentiveness, drawing people and opportunities toward them. Psychologists have found that the perception of opportunities is heavily influenced by mental state. A calm, focused mind sees options that a stressed or distracted mind ignores. By being present, you enhance your ability to recognize possibilities and make choices that align with your desires. Presence is not passive observation. It is active engagement. It is the practice of noticing, listening, and responding with clarity and intention. Consider professional situations, relationships, or creative projects. In a business meeting, the person who is fully attentive picks up on subtle cues from colleagues and clients. They notice hesitations, unspoken concerns, and emerging opportunities. Their responses are thoughtful and precise. They naturally attract collaboration and trust. By contrast, someone who is distracted misses these cues, responds late, and projects disinterest or anxiety. Their energy repels opportunities that could have been aligned with their goals. In personal relationships, the same principle applies. A person who is fully present listens attentively, communicates clearly, and responds to the needs of others. They attract deeper connections, mutual respect, and cooperation. Their calm engagement signals reliability, warmth, and confidence. Those who are preoccupied, anxious, or scattered may work hard to maintain relationships, but they often feel frustration and disconnection because they are not fully available in the moment. Even in creative endeavors, presence is key. Artists, writers, and thinkers who immerse themselves in the process without distraction experience flow. Their work emerges with clarity, depth, and originality. They notice opportunities, inspirations, and solutions that a distracted mind misses entirely. Their energy aligns naturally with the outcomes they desire, because they are focused and aware of the present. Take a slow breath and feel the shift in your awareness. Notice how simply attending to the moment changes your perception. Your attention is a magnet. The more fully you engage with the present, the more life begins to align with your focus and intention. Observe how your mind clears, how tension eases, and how insight emerges naturally. This is the second step in mastering the art of attracting what you want. Your energy is beginning to align. Your perception is sharpening. Hold this awareness as we move into the next principle. Let the feeling of clarity and calm deepen, and carry it with you as we continue our journey through these Stoic rules. Rule 3. Accepted resistance. Obstacles are a natural part of life. They are not interruptions, mistakes, or punishments. They are inevitable experiences that every person encounters. From the moment you wake until the moment you sleep, you face situations that test your patience, your focus, and your resolve. The question is not whether challenges will appear, but how you respond when they do. Resistance can feel uncomfortable, frustrating, or even unfair. It can provoke anxiety and doubt if approached with avoidance or anger. But resistance has another side, a deeper purpose that is often overlooked. How you relate to it determines whether it blocks you or becomes a source of growth. Accepted resistance transforms difficulty into opportunity. It teaches patience, sharpens your focus, and strengthens the qualities that allow you to attract what you want. When approached with understanding and clarity, obstacles stop being mere interruptions and start becoming guides along your path. This is not about forcing outcomes or pretending that setbacks do not matter. It is about cultivating a mindset that recognizes resistance as a teacher, one that shapes character, hones perception, and prepares you to receive what life has to offer. The Stoics recognized the profound value of resistance. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This insight carries remarkable clarity. When challenges appear, they are not random barriers. They are part of the process of growth, part of the natural rhythm of life, and part of the path that leads to achievement. Marcus Aurelius understood that difficulties reveal both weaknesses and strengths. They show where your attention is needed, where your patience must expand, and where your character is tested. Rather than avoiding obstacles, he encourages us to meet them with awareness and acceptance. Resistance is not a detour from progress. It is progress itself. It teaches lessons that comfort never can, and it develops resilience that ease cannot produce. By accepting resistance, you align yourself with the natural order of events, allowing the challenges to guide rather than hinder you. When you begin to see resistance as a natural and essential part of life, your relationship with challenges changes completely. You no longer approach difficulties with fear or frustration. Instead, you approach them with attention, curiosity, and calm determination. Resistance becomes an opportunity to practice patience and focus. It forces you to slow down, to consider your choices, and to refine your approach. It teaches you how to respond rather than react. A person who avoids resistance misses critical lessons, becomes vulnerable to repeated frustrations, and relies heavily on external circumstances for validation. A person who accepts resistance gains insight, develops problem-solving skills, and grows in confidence. This principle also applies to the pursuit of goals and desires. Whenever you attempt to manifest something meaningful in your life, resistance will appear. Plans may be delayed, people may misunderstand your intentions, and circumstances may shift unexpectedly. Those who fight against these challenges often experience stress, discouragement, and wasted energy. Those who accept and work with them remain focused on what they can control. They adapt, improvise, and discover paths that were previously invisible. Resistance forces creativity. It requires adjustment and engagement. By accepting it, you discover strengths and solutions that remain hidden to those who seek only comfort or convenience. Modern psychology offers insight into why accepted resistance is effective. Cognitive reframing is a technique that trains the mind to view challenges as opportunities instead of threats. When you reframe obstacles in this way, the stress response diminishes. Anxiety is replaced by curiosity and focus. The mind begins to approach problems with clarity rather than panic. Repeated exposure to challenges strengthens neural pathways associated with resilience, adaptability, and problem-solving. Each encounter with resistance becomes a practice session for the mind, teaching you how to respond with awareness instead of instinctive frustration. Psychologists also note that resilience is not an innate trait, but a learned skill. People who practice acceptance in the face of difficulty develop a mindset that perceives setbacks as natural and manageable. They are more capable of maintaining motivation and energy over time. Their actions are deliberate, their planning is effective, and their engagement with the world becomes purposeful. They attract opportunities not because life has become easier, but because their presence and energy communicate stability, composure, and competence. The ability to accept resistance is a key differentiator between those who succeed in meaningful ways and those who remain stuck chasing outcomes without clarity. Consider everyday situations. You submit a proposal at work, and it is delayed by bureaucracy. Someone interrupts your day with criticism or misunderstanding. A project you planned does not unfold as expected. The initial reaction may be irritation, disappointment, or a desire to withdraw. These are natural reactions, but they are not helpful if your goal is to move forward. By accepting the resistance instead of battling it, you gain access to new opportunities. You find alternative routes. You discover solutions that would have been invisible if consumed by frustration. Think about athletes, artists, or entrepreneurs. Obstacles are constant. The person who complains or resists unnecessarily expends energy on frustration and discouragement. The person who accepts resistance calmly, adapts, and continues to engage often finds unexpected breakthroughs. A delay can reveal an opportunity to improve. A setback can highlight a strategy that needed adjustment. Resistance forces awareness. It forces growth. Those who respond wisely turn challenges into stepping stones, gradually aligning themselves with the outcomes they seek. Even in relationships, accepted resistance is crucial. Conflicts, misunderstandings, and miscommunications are inevitable. Responding with anger or avoidance escalates tension and reduces connection. Accepting the resistance, observing it, and choosing a thoughtful response allows relationships to deepen and align naturally. The same principle applies to health, learning, and creative pursuits. Life does not offer a perfectly smooth path. Those who attract fulfillment understand that obstacles are part of the journey, not interruptions from it. Pause for a moment. Notice your own experiences of resistance as they appear in your life. Recognize the times when frustration dominated, and consider how things might have shifted if you had responded with acceptance. Feel the calm clarity that comes from understanding that resistance is not your enemy. It is a teacher. Each obstacle presents an opportunity to refine your perception, strengthen your character, and align your energy with what you truly desire. Take a deep breath and carry this awareness forward. Let it settle in your mind and body. Resistance is a pathway, not a barrier. With this principle understood, we are ready to move to the next rule, building on this foundation of presence, clarity, and alignment. Rule 4, Inner Authority. Your true power does not come from outside. It does not come from titles, money, recognition, or approval. It lives within you. It is the ability to respond to life on your own terms, to maintain clarity and calm, even when the world is chaotic. When external events dictate your emotions, your decisions become scattered, your energy fragmented, and your ability to attract what you want is blocked. Manifestation is not about forcing circumstances. It is about aligning your energy, focus, and actions with the natural flow of opportunity. When you allow your mood, your confidence, or your sense of self to depend on others, you give away this power. You surrender the very thing that creates magnetism. True inner authority means that you remain grounded in your values, your perception, and your choice. You do not need approval to act wisely. You do not need validation to feel worthy. When your authority comes from inside, every thought, every decision, and every action resonates with intention and strength. This creates a natural energy that draws people, situations, and possibilities toward you. People are drawn to calm, to confidence, and to presence. They are drawn to individuals who act from a centered place of self-possession. By cultivating inner authority, you stop chasing outcomes. You stop reacting uncontrollably. You start operating from a position of clarity. You start to notice doors that open effortlessly, people who offer guidance, and opportunities that align naturally with your intentions. This is not a temporary mindset. It is a practice. It is a way of living that gradually reshapes how life responds to you. It is not about dominating others or imposing your will. It is about mastering yourself. Every decision you make from this place has power because it is rooted in authenticity and calm. It radiates energy that cannot be forced or copied. This is the essence of manifestation in action. The Stoics understood the importance of inner authority. Epictetus, a philosopher who endured the hardships of slavery and life in service, said, "No one can hurt you without your permission." His insight is deceptively simple, yet profoundly transformative. External events, other people's words, and unexpected circumstances cannot diminish your energy unless you allow them to. The judgment you place on events, the emotional reaction you give, and the attention you focus on challenges are all under your control. Epictetus teaches that the key to living with power and attraction lies not in trying to control the world, but in controlling yourself. When you reclaim this authority, you gain freedom. Freedom from distraction, freedom from reactive emotions, freedom from the endless pursuit of approval. This is the foundation for drawing the life you desire toward you. The Stoics did not ignore challenges or hardships. They faced them with clarity and calm, because they understood that the mind governs reality more than circumstance. Inner authority is the same principle applied today. It is the understanding that by mastering your own perceptions and reactions, you influence not only your internal state, but also the way the world engages with you. Reclaiming your inner authority begins with awareness. Notice the moments when your energy is hijacked by judgment, comparison, or fear. Observe when external events trigger frustration or insecurity. These moments are opportunities to practice self-mastery. By pausing, breathing, and choosing your response, you shift from being reactive to being proactive. Your energy becomes stable, your presence becomes noticeable. This calm stability communicates strength to those around you. It makes your intentions clear without needing to speak loudly. Decisions made from this place are deliberate, thoughtful, and aligned with your goals. Inner authority is not about rigidity. It is about flexibility grounded in clarity. It allows you to navigate challenges without losing direction. It allows you to maintain focus on what truly matters, avoiding distractions created by fear, criticism, or fleeting emotions. Your choices are guided by principles rather than impulse. Your behavior is aligned with your values rather than external pressures. Over time, this creates magnetism. People, opportunities, and favorable circumstances respond naturally to energy that is calm, consistent, and centered. This is the quiet force that manifests outcomes without struggle or chasing. Modern psychology confirms that emotional self-regulation is foundational to influence and leadership. Research shows that individuals who regulate their emotions effectively make better decisions, handle stress with composure, and inspire trust. The prefrontal cortex, which governs rational thought and planning, functions more efficiently when emotional reactivity is reduced. This creates clarity in judgment, allowing you to see opportunities that others miss when overwhelmed by emotion. People who demonstrate emotional stability and confidence attract collaborators, mentors, and partners because they convey competence and reliability. Every time you respond from a place of inner authority, you reinforce neural pathways that support calm decision-making, resilience, and leadership. This is why inner authority is a skill as well as a mindset. It can be practiced, strengthened, and refined over time. Each challenge you face is a chance to strengthen this capacity. Each decision you make from this place trains your mind and energy to operate at a higher level, increasing the natural flow of opportunities around you. Consider someone navigating a complex project at work. Multiple people have opinions, deadlines shift, and unexpected problems arise. A person who reacts with fear, anxiety, or defensiveness is likely to miss key insights, alienate collaborators, and exhaust their energy. A person who maintains inner authority remains calm, evaluates the situation, and responds thoughtfully. Their clarity and confidence attract assistance, guidance, and resources without force. Similarly, in personal relationships, someone grounded in their values and emotional self-control naturally draws friends, partners, and mentors who resonate with their energy. Approval is not sought because it is unnecessary. Guidance and collaboration flow naturally because the presence of calm authority signals reliability and competence. In creative pursuits, inner authority allows an artist, writer, or innovator to follow their vision without distraction from criticism or comparison. Their energy communicates focus and purpose, drawing collaborators and opportunities aligned with their goals. Over time, this practice compounds. Life responds to the consistent energy of inner authority. Small decisions made calmly and thoughtfully accumulate into significant outcomes. The ability to maintain composure, focus, and alignment is a magnet that attracts not through force, but through natural resonance. Take a moment now. Close your eyes if you wish and feel the authority within. Notice how your breath, posture, and attention shift when you acknowledge your own control. This is the foundation for everything that follows. Every choice you make from this place strengthens your capacity to attract what you want. Every action becomes more deliberate. Every encounter becomes an opportunity to align with your intentions. Keep this awareness with you as we move to the next principle. Inner authority is not a concept to understand once and forget. It is a daily practice, a way of engaging with the world that ensures your energy, clarity, and presence remain aligned with the life you are capable of creating. Feel it now, breathe into it, and carry this power forward. Rule 5, strategic non-action. Sometimes in life, the most powerful form of action is not to act immediately. This may feel counterintuitive at first. We have been conditioned to believe that constant doing, relentless effort, and pushing forward at all costs are the keys to success. Yet, the Stoics understood a subtle truth. Not every moment requires effort. Not every desire should be chased aggressively. Strategic non-action is the practice of pausing, observing, and allowing the right opportunities to emerge naturally. It teaches you that timing and alignment are as important as effort. When you act from a place of wisdom and patience, rather than desperation, the outcomes you seek often come to you more efficiently and with less struggle. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, often reminded himself that true wisdom lies in knowing what to pursue and what to let unfold. He understood that impatience, frantic effort, and forcing events usually create friction, tension, and missed opportunities. Seneca's insight was not about passivity, it was about discernment, careful observation, and trusting the natural order. He recognized that life has rhythms. Some moments are for action, and some moments are for patience. By learning to differentiate these moments, we conserve our energy for the efforts that truly matter. This is the essence of strategic non-action. It is about cultivating the ability to act at the precise time when your influence and impact are strongest. When you practice strategic non-action, you create mental space. Your mind is no longer cluttered with anxiety or urgency. You become able to see situations more clearly. You notice opportunities that were invisible before because you were too busy forcing results. You understand which actions will bring meaningful progress and which are unnecessary distractions. You begin to act with intention rather than reaction. Your choices are guided by insight, not impulse. You cultivate patience, awareness, and discernment, and this inner calm amplifies your ability to attract what you truly want. Modern psychology supports this principle. Research shows that stepping back from problems or challenges engages the subconscious mind. Your brain continues to process information even when you are not actively thinking about a problem. This process improves creativity, enhances decision-making, and allows solutions to appear that were hidden during moments of stress or overwork. People who are constantly reactive often miss these insights because their attention is divided and their energy is scattered. Strategic non-action, by contrast, encourages reflection and focused awareness. By observing and understanding before acting, you strengthen your mental clarity and improve the quality of every decision you make. Consider practical examples from modern life. Imagine someone negotiating a business deal. A person who rushes or pressures the other party may close doors unintentionally. A person who observes, listens carefully, and waits for the right moment to present an offer often achieves a better outcome. In personal relationships, responding immediately in anger or frustration can damage trust and connection. By pausing, reflecting, and choosing when and how to respond thoughtfully, relationships deepen and new possibilities emerge. In creative work, stepping away from a project and returning later often leads to breakthroughs that are not possible under pressure. Strategic non-action allows time, patience, and observation to work alongside effort. This principle also cultivates a deeper sense of trust in life itself. By practicing strategic non-action, you begin to understand that not everything needs to be controlled. You learn to align your efforts with the natural flow of circumstances. You recognize that the right outcomes arrive when you act from a place of wisdom, calm, and timing. You conserve energy, reduce stress, and amplify your effectiveness. Each pause, each moment of mindful observation becomes an opportunity to align more closely with your intentions. You are learning to act not from scarcity or fear, but from insight, patience, and purpose. Take a deep breath. Feel the power in stillness. Notice how your mind opens when you are not forcing outcomes. Every pause, every moment of patient observation strengthens your alignment with the life and opportunities you desire. This is the subtle yet profound art of strategic non-action. Now that you have felt the power of patience and observation, we move to the next principle, where presence and emotional awareness continue to amplify your ability to attract what you want effortlessly. Rule 6. Gratitude as attraction. Gratitude is not simply a polite response or a casual habit. It is a way of aligning your mind with the flow of life and the energy of abundance. When you truly notice what already exists in your life, when you give attention and recognition to even the small positives, you begin to shift the way your mind operates. Gratitude reorients your focus from what is lacking to what is present. It changes the lens through which you perceive your life, and this shift alone alters how opportunities, people, and circumstances appear to you. It is a quiet, powerful principle. By cultivating gratitude, you do not just feel better. You create a fertile mental and emotional environment where what you want can naturally come to you. It is not about pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about acknowledging the value that is already present and allowing that recognition to guide your attention and energy toward constructive and abundant outcomes. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic emperors, reminded himself constantly that in every situation there is something to be grateful for. He understood that the mind which notices the good is the mind that can act clearly, calmly, and effectively. Even in difficult circumstances, gratitude provides a stabilizing force. It strengthens the mind against discouragement and distraction. By focusing on what is positive and valuable, you cultivate resilience, awareness, and insight. Marcus knew that a person who is grateful does not waste energy on resentment, envy, or complaint. Instead, they notice what is present, respond thoughtfully, and make decisions aligned with their highest purpose. In this way, gratitude is not a passive state of mind. It is an active orientation that directs attention, shapes perception, and enhances your capacity to attract what you desire. The practice of gratitude shifts your energy. When your mind dwells on scarcity or frustration, it tightens, contracts, and misses opportunities. Gratitude, on the other hand, opens your awareness. It creates a sense of fullness and richness in your perception. When you notice the value of what is already present, your attention naturally finds new possibilities. You see connections that others overlook. You respond to challenges with a calm and solution-oriented mindset rather than fear or desperation. Gratitude transforms setbacks into lessons and obstacles into guides. The person who practices gratitude does not chase success frantically. They align themselves with life's flow, and in that alignment, opportunities begin to appear almost effortlessly. Modern psychology reinforces this principle. Studies in positive psychology show that gratitude consistently improves well-being, increases perception of possibilities, and strengthens social connections. Brain imaging reveals that gratitude activates pathways related to reward, motivation, and bonding with others. In practical terms, this means that the mind that notices and appreciates what is good is more alert, more open, and more effective. Gratitude enhances your ability to recognize patterns, to see opportunities, and to act at the right time. It strengthens your relationships because people naturally respond to those who recognize and value them. By practicing gratitude, you are training your mind to focus on constructive and meaningful aspects of life, which in turn attracts experiences, people, and circumstances aligned with your goals. Consider modern life examples. Think about the people who succeed in building networks, collaborations, and partnerships. Often, their success is not due to superior skills alone. It is because they notice what is already valuable, they appreciate the contributions of others, and they respond with genuine recognition and presence. This creates a magnetism that draws opportunities toward them. Gratitude makes interactions richer and collaborations stronger. It communicates confidence, calm, and alignment with abundance. The person who walks through life with an awareness of what is already good finds that life itself begins to respond in kind. Doors open, introductions happen, and possibilities appear naturally. This is not superficial charm. It is a state of mind and being that naturally attracts what is aligned with your values and intentions. Pause for a moment. Allow yourself to feel gratitude not as a thought, but as a presence within your mind. Notice how your attention shifts as you acknowledge even the small positives around you. The more you notice and appreciate, the more your mental and emotional state aligns with abundance. Life begins to respond to your presence and awareness. Gratitude is the silent force that shapes perception, enhances decision-making, and strengthens relationships. It is a principle that, when practiced consistently, has a profound effect on the flow of opportunities into your life. Every moment of recognition, every acknowledgement of value, reinforces your ability to attract what you want. Let this energy settle. Feel gratitude as a current within your mind. Let it influence your thoughts, your actions, and your interactions. As you continue to practice gratitude, you will notice a deepening alignment with the things, people, and experiences that matter most. Life responds to attention, awareness, and presence. Gratitude is the channel that directs your mind and energy toward what is abundant, meaningful, and possible. This principle, when fully understood and integrated, enhances every other rule we have discussed. Take a slow breath. Let this understanding settle within you. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It is a lens through which life reveals its opportunities and abundance. The more consistently you notice and appreciate what is present, the more naturally the life you desire comes toward you. Rule 7. Emotional sovereignty. Your emotions are natural and inevitable, but they are not your masters. Every feeling you experience, whether it is anger, fear, joy, or excitement, carries information about your environment, your values, and your needs. The mistake most people make is allowing these signals to dictate their actions. When you let emotions rule your behavior, you lose clarity, focus, and effectiveness. Emotional sovereignty is the practice of observing emotions, understanding their origin, and choosing how to respond rather than reacting impulsively. It is the recognition that emotions are data, not directives. They are part of your human experience, but they should not determine the course of your life. By mastering this principle, your presence itself becomes magnetic. People naturally respond to calm, composed energy. Your intentions, ideas, and desires are more likely to manifest when they are carried by a mind that is steady and self-directed. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, emphasized that while we do not control the events that happen to us, we have complete control over how we judge them. Our power lies not in changing the external world immediately, but in choosing our inner responses. When you grasp this truth, you understand that your happiness, influence, and effectiveness are never dependent on circumstances alone. They are dependent on how you process and respond to life. Emotional sovereignty is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending that negative emotions do not exist. It is about acknowledging them, understanding their origin, and using them as guides for wise action. The more you practice this, the more consistent and deliberate your energy becomes. You stop sending fragmented, reactive, or anxious energy into the world and begin projecting a steady, confident presence that draws the right opportunities, collaborators, and experiences toward you. When you exercise emotional sovereignty, your mind operates like a compass rather than a weather vane. Each response is intentional and aligned with your goals. Consider how frequently people let irritation, disappointment, or impatience shape their day. They react to minor frustrations and lose sight of larger opportunities. Their energy becomes scattered and erratic, and they unconsciously repel what they desire. In contrast, someone practicing emotional sovereignty observes the same challenges but responds deliberately. Their frustration is acknowledged but channeled into thoughtful, productive action. They maintain clarity, act strategically, and navigate obstacles with calm confidence. This is how intentional energy attracts life's opportunities. The people and circumstances you wish to draw to yourself respond more readily to focus, steadiness, and thoughtful action than to panic, urgency, or reactive emotion. Modern psychology confirms this effect. Emotional regulation, a fundamental aspect of cognitive science, demonstrates that self-awareness and deliberate control of responses improve decision-making, reduce stress, and enhance social influence. People who consistently monitor their emotional state and choose their responses develop stronger interpersonal relationships, improved leadership abilities, and increased resilience. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you interpret a surge of emotion as information rather than a command, you train your brain to act from clarity instead of instinct. This strengthens neural pathways associated with reflection, planning, and intentional action. Over time, emotional sovereignty becomes a default mode. You stop being tossed around by circumstance. You stop reacting to every external stimulus. Instead, you respond with purpose, creating a consistent internal state that allows what you want to naturally gravitate toward you. Consider a practical example from daily life. Two managers receive the same frustrating report. One panics and reacts immediately by criticizing the team, raising voices, and expressing dissatisfaction. The environment becomes tense, morale drops, and solutions are delayed. In contrast, the second manager notices the frustration rising but does not surrender to it. They pause, consider the facts, and respond with measured guidance. They maintain calm, project authority, and encourage collaboration. The result is constructive action, respect from the team, and the emergence of effective solutions. This demonstrates how emotional energy, when controlled, attracts outcomes aligned with your goals. The same principle applies in relationships, negotiations, creative pursuits, and everyday interactions. People respond positively to composure and thoughtful action, while chaos and uncontrolled emotion tend to repel desired results. Breathe for a moment and feel the current of your own emotional state. Notice how often you react automatically versus choosing deliberate action. Each choice to respond thoughtfully strengthens your mind, your presence, and your ability to attract what you desire. Emotional sovereignty is not instantaneous. It requires practice, patience, and self-reflection. Yet, every time you choose observation over reaction, understanding over judgment, and wisdom over impulse, you are training yourself to become magnetic, centered, and effective. The power to influence your life lies not in external control, but in mastery over your inner responses. By consistently applying this principle, you align your energy, focus, and attention with the outcomes you wish to manifest. Every response becomes a deliberate tool for creating your reality. Pause, reflect, acknowledge your emotions without surrendering to them. Each measured response is a step toward the consistent, magnetic energy that makes your intentions effective. Every moment you exercise control over your mind and reactions strengthens the invisible force that draws opportunities, people, and circumstances toward your goals. Emotional sovereignty is the bridge between desire and manifestation, between intent and reality. Your presence, guided by deliberate choice, becomes the most powerful tool you have. Rule 8. Philosophy of enough. You already possess more than you realize. Most people spend their lives chasing the next goal, the next reward, or the next recognition. They measure their worth by how much they have, what they achieve, or how others perceive them. This constant pursuit creates a subtle tension, a quiet unrest that keeps them running but never arriving. The philosophy of enough teaches a profound truth. Fulfillment begins from within. When you recognize that you have sufficient resources, abilities, and qualities to begin where you are, your energy changes. You stop pushing desperately. You stop grasping for what is just out of reach. Instead, your actions flow naturally from confidence, clarity, and presence. This is not a call for complacency or passivity. You can still pursue goals, growth, and improvement. But when the pursuit comes from a sense of sufficiency rather than lack, you attract opportunities more effortlessly. People respond to your presence not because you are anxious to prove yourself, but because you are grounded in your own value. Your energy signals competence and reliability. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, wrote that wealth is not measured by what we possess, but by how little we need. The understanding of sufficiency liberates the mind. When your desire for external validation, material gain, or recognition is moderate and conscious, you create freedom for thought and action. You are no longer a slave to constant longing. The mind that feels enough is calm, discerning, and strategic. It can recognize opportunities without panic or greed. It can pursue goals without anxiety or compulsion. The energy that comes from knowing you are sufficient is magnetic. Others are drawn to it because it signals stability and competence. It signals presence. It signals power that does not need to be proven. The practical explanation of this principle lies in your daily life. When you act from a sense of scarcity, when you feel you are not enough, every interaction carries tension. You push harder than necessary. You try to control outcomes. Your mind becomes cluttered with fear, worry, and self-doubt. In contrast, when you act from a sense of sufficiency, your decisions are thoughtful, your actions measured, and your presence calm. You respond to challenges with clarity rather than desperation. You negotiate with confidence rather than fear. You collaborate with trust rather than manipulation. This energy changes everything. It opens doors that frantic effort often closes. It draws people who resonate with competence and integrity. It signals alignment with life rather than resistance to it. Feeling enough is a magnet for opportunity because it conveys clarity, patience, and focus. Modern psychology confirms the effects of internal sufficiency. People who feel secure and content within themselves make better decisions. They do not allow anxiety or scarcity-driven thinking to cloud judgment. Their relationships are stronger because they are not constantly seeking validation or approval. They are perceived as competent and trustworthy. Studies of decision-making show that stress and urgency often produce errors, blind spots, and missed opportunities. Conversely, the mind that is calm, confident, and sufficient perceives more options, weighs risks more clearly, and identifies the paths that lead to the best outcomes. This psychological clarity reinforces the Stoic principle. When you cultivate the sense of enough, your inner state aligns with your desired outcomes. Your actions, energy, and attention naturally attract results rather than pushing against resistance. Consider a real-life scenario. In sales, creative work, or leadership, the person who projects a sense of enough stands out. A salesperson who approaches a client with calm confidence, who does not chase approval or react anxiously, creates connection. A creative professional who trusts their ability and experience collaborates effectively because they are not desperate for recognition. Their energy signals competence and reliability. Clients, collaborators, and mentors are naturally drawn to them. They are approached with opportunities rather than chasing them. Acting from sufficiency transforms interactions. It shifts them from transactional and tense to organic and mutually aligned. The world responds to calm confidence. It responds to clarity of presence rather than frantic need. Pause for a moment. Reflect on your own sense of sufficiency. Notice areas of your life where you may feel lack or neediness. Observe the energy that creates. Then notice areas where you already feel enough. Sense how your mind, body, and presence change in those moments. The mind aligned with enough is free to attract. It does not chase, it does not grasp. It notices, responds, and draws toward itself that which aligns with its values and intentions. This principle is powerful because it combines understanding, presence, and self-mastery. It is not theoretical, it is practical. It is the quiet force behind all effective manifestation. Every decision you make from this place of sufficiency carries authority, calm, and clarity. Every interaction signals presence rather than desperation. Every pursuit becomes an exercise of focused energy rather than anxious effort. Take a deep breath. Feel the sense of enough settling in your mind and body. Let it shift your posture, your attention, and your energy. The philosophy of enough is not about stopping action. It is about aligning your energy so that your actions and presence naturally attract what you desire. The mind that knows it has enough moves differently. It engages opportunities wisely, notices what others overlook, and draws people and situations that resonate with clarity and stability. By internalizing this principle, you set the stage for effortless attraction. You cultivate an energy that signals readiness, competence, and alignment. Your life begins to respond naturally to your actions, thoughts, and presence. The mind anchored in enough is the mind that creates the conditions for what you want to come to you without force, struggle, or panic. Pause once more and allow this truth to integrate. The more you feel enough, the more effortlessly the world aligns with your energy. Opportunities appear, connections form, and clarity guides your actions. You are ready to move to the next principle, which builds on this foundation, deepening your ability to attract life in alignment with your inner state. Rule 9. Authentic expression. Authenticity is the invisible force that draws life toward you. When you allow yourself to be fully seen, when your actions match your values, when your words reflect your inner truth, the energy you emit becomes magnetic. Too often, people hide behind masks. They conform to what society, colleagues, or peers expect. They adjust their behaviors to please others or to fit into a certain image. This creates tension and confusion within the mind and body. It disperses energy that could be used to move toward meaningful goals. When you hide, you signal uncertainty and inconsistency. Opportunities may pass by because your energy is clouded by doubt or pretense. The Stoic path encourages us to align our inner life with our outer action. to act in accordance with reason and virtue, to express what is genuine, unadulterated by the need for external approval. Attraction flows naturally when the signal you send matches the truth of who you are. It is simple yet profound. Energy that is coherent, focused, and honest has a gravity of its own. It draws opportunities, people, and circumstances that are compatible with your purpose. It removes friction. It opens doors that forced effort often cannot. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, reminded himself not to be concerned with what others think, but to act according to virtue and reason. He understood that the mind's approval or society's recognition is fleeting. True power comes from alignment with your own principles. Acting authentically is not about defiance or conflict. It is about internal coherence. It is about letting your thoughts, intentions, and actions align so that the energy you radiate is consistent and calm. Authentic expression reflects clarity. It is a silent message that communicates confidence, integrity, and self-possession. When others sense this, they are naturally drawn to it because it signals reliability and trustworthiness. The practical implications of authentic expression are clear. Living authentically allows your decisions to be purposeful rather than reactive. Your energy is not wasted in trying to meet everyone else's expectations. You act from clarity rather than anxiety. Your intentions are visible to those who can support or align with them. In life, this principle translates to everything from career choices to personal relationships. Someone who speaks, acts, and chooses in alignment with their inner values immediately signals competence, focus, and presence. They do not have to convince others of their worth. Their clarity attracts collaborators, mentors, friends, and opportunities. Conversely, people who try to please everyone or hide their truth scatter their energy. Their intentions are unclear, and doors that could have opened remain closed. Authenticity is the difference between a life of friction and a life of effortless alignment. Modern psychology supports this principle. Studies show that authenticity increases perceived trustworthiness and influence. When you communicate and act genuinely, others respond positively. Authentic people are more persuasive not because they seek to be, but because their energy is clear and consistent. They reduce stress because they are not expending effort on maintaining facades or managing impressions. Social and professional interactions flow more smoothly, and relationships deepen naturally. Authenticity also enhances self-awareness. When you live in alignment with your values, you understand your priorities and make decisions that serve your long-term goals. This clarity reduces hesitation and internal conflict, allowing your presence to be steady and focused. Consider a practical example. Imagine someone pursuing a career or seeking meaningful partnerships. By expressing their true interests, priorities, and style of working, they attract collaborators and connections who share similar values. The interactions become smoother and more fruitful. Opportunities arise that align with their purpose. Contrast this with someone who constantly adapts to others' expectations. They may gain attention temporarily, but the energy is scattered. The connections are shallow, and doors that could lead to meaningful growth often remain closed. Authentic expression signals readiness and alignment. It conveys that you are not searching for validation, but operating from clarity. Take a deep breath now and sense the effect of authenticity. Notice the lightness that comes from not needing to pretend. Notice the clarity that arises when your actions reflect your values. This is the energy of attraction. Every interaction, decision, and movement from this state draws what is aligned with your purpose. You no longer chase. Life flows toward your presence because your energy is coherent, focused, and genuine. The freedom and clarity of authentic expression allow you to engage with the world without friction. It allows you to attract the people, circumstances, and opportunities that resonate with your true self. The ninth principle is powerful because it is the culmination of internal alignment, clarity, and presence. Authentic expression sets the stage for the final rule, where we integrate all the previous principles into the ultimate practice of deliberate attraction. Pause for a moment. Feel the sense of freedom that comes from being authentically yourself. Allow your mind to absorb this truth. Let it guide your energy, your decisions, and your interactions. This principle completes the foundation for a life where what you desire comes naturally to you, not through force but through alignment, clarity, and authentic presence. You are now ready to integrate these lessons fully in the final principle. Rule 10. Integrated alignment. Life operates on a rhythm far greater than the individual mind. There is an order to events, a natural timing that governs how circumstances unfold. Understanding this principle is central to attracting what you want without force, struggle, or frustration. The 10th rule, integrated alignment, teaches that the universe has a flow. When your thoughts, actions, and presence are aligned with this flow, your efforts meet opportunities at the right moment. Trusting timing does not mean waiting passively. It means engaging deliberately with patience and clarity. It means acting with focus while allowing outcomes to emerge in their own sequence. The person who understands timing does not rush. They do not push or pull life to bend to their will. They move in harmony with the moment, guided by reason, presence, and purpose. This alignment amplifies magnetism. It allows energy to be focused and decisions to be effective. Marcus Aurelius, reflecting on the nature of life and fate, reminded himself that everything happens according to the natural order. He recognized that resistance to timing generates tension and frustration. Acceptance of timing is not surrender or resignation. It is the acknowledgement that some things cannot be forced. This understanding allows one to act with wisdom rather than compulsion. When you trust that life has a rhythm, your energy is no longer scattered. You can focus on what is within your control while remaining open to what arrives through natural progression. This is the essence of Stoic practice. It is the integration of self-mastery, emotional regulation, patience and clarity with an understanding of the larger patterns that govern existence. When you let go of the need to control every outcome, mental energy is liberated. You create openness, a space where opportunities, insights, and connections can enter without obstruction. This trust does not mean inactivity. On the contrary, it is a form of conscious engagement. You act with awareness and deliberate attention, but without anxiety or desperation. Life often delivers results in unexpected ways, through paths that may seem indirect. A person who trusts timing is prepared to recognize and respond to these opportunities when they appear. They are not caught off guard. They do not waste effort on forcing circumstances to conform to immediate desire. Their actions are precise, intentional, and aligned with both their goals and the flow of events. Modern psychology provides insight into this principle. Studies on delayed gratification and strategic patience show that individuals who tolerate waiting often achieve superior long-term outcomes. Impatience can lead to mistakes, poor judgment, and missed opportunities. Acting too quickly or forcing results may create setbacks that could have been avoided. Patience and trust in timing allow the mind to process information fully, consider multiple paths, and choose actions with maximum effectiveness. The ability to wait wisely is not weakness. It is strength and a sign of mature understanding of how life unfolds. Consider practical examples. A professional awaiting a promotion or strategic career move benefits by observing timing and preparing adequately. Acting prematurely may damage credibility or close doors. Similarly, a creative seeking the right platform to launch a project finds success when patience is coupled with thoughtful action. Rushing may produce results that are misaligned or incomplete. Those who wait with clarity, using the time to refine skills and cultivate relationships, often find that opportunities arrive fully formed and often beyond initial expectations. In personal life, the same principle applies. Timing in relationships, negotiations, or decisions is critical. A thoughtful pause, guided by awareness, often opens doors that would have remained closed under haste. As you reflect on the 10 Stoic rules, notice how integrated alignment unites all previous principles: detached desire, presence, accepted resistance, inner authority, strategic non-action, gratitude, emotional sovereignty, the philosophy of enough, and authentic expression all converge in this final rule. Alignment means that every thought, choice, and action is coherent, deliberate, and harmonious with life's natural rhythm. When this alignment is achieved, manifestation is not a struggle. Desire, energy, and action meet circumstance at the perfect moment. Opportunities, connections, and outcomes flow naturally toward you because your presence, focus, and clarity make you receptive. You are no longer pushing against life, but moving with it with purpose, awareness, and patience. Pause now. Feel the full effect of these 10 principles in your mind and body. Sense the calm, deliberate energy that arises when clarity, authenticity, patience, and presence converge. Notice how trust in timing enhances every previous lesson. Your desires are not forced. They are drawn toward you as a natural consequence of alignment, thoughtful action, and persistent inner cultivation. These rules are not theoretical exercises. They are practical tools for engaging life in a way that draws results naturally, effectively, and without unnecessary struggle. Your clarity, patience, and authenticity become magnets. Every decision, interaction, and choice made from this integrated state reinforces your ability to attract what aligns with your values and intentions. Life begins to respond to presence rather than compulsion. Energy flows effortlessly toward meaningful outcomes. Take a deep breath and absorb this understanding. The 10 Stoic rules are now connected into a single framework of mastery. They guide desire, presence, patience, authenticity, emotional control, and alignment with life. By practicing them consistently, you transform the way the world responds to your presence. Opportunities come without force. People are drawn to your energy naturally. Decisions are clear and deliberate. Life moves in rhythm with your actions. This is the ultimate expression of integrated alignment. It is the path to making what you want come to you, not through struggle or obsession, but through clarity, presence, and deliberate harmony with the flow of life. By now, you can see that true power does not come from forcing outcomes or trying to control everything around you. Real power comes from a different source. It comes from presence, clarity, patience, and alignment with the natural flow of life. Each of the 10 rules we explored today is part of a larger system that builds on one another. Detached desire allows your mind to remain open and receptive to opportunities instead of being consumed by worry or need. Living fully in the present sharpens your awareness so that you notice the details and possibilities that others often overlook. Acceptance of resistance transforms challenges into growth, showing that obstacles are not walls, but guides that reveal paths forward. Inner authority and emotional mastery give you calm power. You are no longer reacting to life impulsively. You respond with intention and clarity, allowing your energy to radiate stability and strength. Gratitude shifts your perception to abundance. The philosophy of enough prevents frantic grasping. Authentic expression ensures your energy is coherent with your values, and trust in timing allows life to unfold without unnecessary force or impatience. These principles are ancient, yet their relevance remains timeless. They are not simply rules to memorize or repeat. They are living practices that shape the way you think, the way you act, and the energy you project into the world. Leaders, thinkers, philosophers, and those who quietly achieve mastery have lived these truths. They have acted consistently, deliberately, and without fanfare. You now have access to this same framework. How deeply these principles transform your life depends on your next steps. Every choice you make, every interaction you engage in, every moment you pause to reflect can deepen their effect. By practicing these principles consciously, you begin to shape a presence that attracts situations, people, and opportunities naturally. You do not need to force results. You do not need to struggle or push against life. By aligning your mind, your energy, and your actions, you create conditions where the outcomes you desire move toward you almost effortlessly. This is the essence of the mastery we have explored today, and it is available to anyone willing to cultivate awareness, patience, and alignment. You are becoming someone who cannot be easily swayed by circumstance or external opinion. You are someone who acts with calm clarity, guided by values, insight, and understanding. You are developing a presence that naturally draws the right people, situations, and opportunities to you. Walk through your day knowing that every thought, every action, and every choice carries weight. Your energy matters. Your presence matters. You influence the world not through force, but through alignment with what is real, true, and grounded within yourself. Walk like someone who has mastered their responses. Walk like someone who is magnetic not because of need or compulsion, but because your inner clarity and coherence radiate outward. This is the beginning of a transformation that is steady, quiet, and profoundly effective. It is a transformation that builds over time, moment by moment, as you practice these principles and allow them to guide your life. You are stepping into a way of being where what you want does not have to be chased. It comes naturally because your mind, your energy, and your actions are aligned with life itself. If these principles resonate with you, take a moment to like this video and support the message we have explored together. Comment below which rule impacted you the most and how you plan to apply it in your life. Share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights, someone who seeks clarity, calm power, and the ability to attract what matters naturally. Subscribe and turn on notifications for weekly teachings that combine the wisdom of Stoicism with psychological guidance to help you master life calmly, clearly, and effectively. Remember to stay present, stay disciplined, continue shaping your mind and your energy so that what you truly desire moves toward you, not by force, but by alignment, understanding, and deliberate practice. The path you walk now is one of quiet strength, consistent growth, and effortless attraction. Every moment of practice reinforces your presence, sharpens your clarity, and enhances your ability to respond wisely. You have the framework, the principles, and the understanding. How you live them will define the results you experience.